Hello everybody and welcome to MITOSIS, my intricate thoughts on stuff I've seen. I have a guest.
Oh, shaking.
You just shook the camera.
I did.
Now you know what it feels like to watch the Hunger Games.
Oh.
We just got finished seeing Maleficent. I'm actually going to, because these are not proper reviews by any way, shape, or form. Could you go up to IMDb? I'd like to take a look at some of the actors there because I only know one of them. Which is the fucking reason you should see this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. I have reviewed some shit on this show.
Wow. Okay, cool.
What?
I just figured out who Aurora was.
That's Elle Fanning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Alright.
Yeah, I have reviewed some shit on this show. Like, all of the stuff I've reviewed has either been really bad or meh. I think, like, Frozen had, like, a meh out of 10, and that was the highest rated thing I've reviewed.
Yeah.
This is averaging 8 to 9. Like, this is a really good...
And I would say...
I would
say
go 9.
like 9.5, because the little bit that was kind of stupid wasn't enough to make a difference.
I wouldn't say it's enough to bring it to a damn near perfect movie, but 9. I would give this a very comfortable 9.
And like I said, I'd give it a 9.5.
Right. I don't like to really rate through numerics, though.
No, well then...
This is how I like to rate, by doing shitty vlog review shows.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a story told from Maleficent's point of view.
Yes.
Of her not exactly being a bad guy. Well, she's bad, but this is why. And it ends with everybody in the world is shit, except for her crow, Prince not appearing in this movie.
Right.
And Aurora.
Yeah.
But everybody else is shit. Like,
well, no, and all her forest friends are still there.
Her forest friends, yeah.
Right. And like Grog or
Groot. Groot's in
hey, you guys will understand when you see the movie. But there's like this treant that reminds me of Groot.
How does he remind you of Groot?
I don't know. I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, but I've seen like clips of Guardians of the Galaxy.
There is a Guardians of the Galaxy MITOSIS review coming. It's not fresh in my head, so I can't do a scene by scene, but
we're probably going to watch it again.
We're probably going to watch it again. So, I'm going to watch it again with her and Amanda.
Yeah, I have not seen it, so. Okay, back on to Maleficent. Okay, first of all, let me tell you, and I have to get this out because it's just, I'm bursting.
Go for it.
I'm bursting.
Burst.
I have been an avid fan, like fangirl crazy for Angelina Jolie. I have probably watched her from...
What was the movie you mentioned?
Girl Interrupted.
Girl Interrupted.
Girl Interrupted is probably one of the first movies I've seen of her. I can't say if it was like the first movie. But Girl Interrupted is one of the first movies I ever watched of her. And if anybody knows what Girl Interrupted is, it's a long time ago. Like, really, really long time ago. And I loved her in that one. And she was a crazy bitch in that one. But I've watched her from that day on. I've watched every movie she's been in. I'm an avid fangirl of hers. When I found out that she was playing my childhood idol villain...
I think we all, even as a kid, kind of had that villain we really liked. Right.
And for me, I always admired Maleficent. She was, you know, like when you think of a villain when I was a kid, I thought of the green-faced witches. I thought of like Ursula. They were always ugly and mean, but she was beautiful and regal and powerful, and just everything about her caught my attention. And I remember being 7 years old and watching that movie, and I remember at the end of it going, somebody did her wrong. Like, you know, in the original Sleeping Beauty, they never explain shit. Like, they don't explain nothing. They're just like, oh, I wasn't invited to a birthday party, so now I'm pissed off. I knew it was more than that. It had to be more than that. She's looking up Sleeping Beauty.
Because I want to find out.
2000.
No.
1959.
Is it? Yeah, that's the one. We're looking at a movie from 1959 here.
Right. So they never explained anything. In this movie, they actually explain why she became bitter and dark and pissed off. And who she was. Because again, when you see her in Sleeping Beauty in the cartoon version, she's just this really regal girl with this like really cool headdress, right? I always thought those horns were real too. So in this one, they actually go right into detail on what she is, you know, why she gets pissed off. And then it shows a whole different side of her. And they completely screwed over the Disney Sleeping Beauty movie.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm happy they did. Because, again, I love the twist at the end. I just loved the graphics. I loved the dragon. I loved everything.
The graphics of this were very, I called it in the movie, very Oz the Great and Powerful. This is a very pretty movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it's dark, it's fucking dark. If it's, like, medieval, it's fucking medieval. And if it's beautiful...
It's fucking beautiful.
Fucking beautiful.
But even the dark was beautiful. Did you notice that? Like, even when she made her area dark, it was still beautiful.
I know, what I mean is when she first gets, like, pissy and she starts walking and everything just becomes dark as she's walking. And, like, the branch thorn throne that happens, like, that was fucking eerie.
Oh, my God. It was just, like, the only thing we can both agree on is right in the beginning of the movie, the child actors are not very good.
Yeah, let's do this, because I usually go scene by scene in these reviews I can remember. So, the movie starts out, if you want to know the backstory between the two kingdoms, the first line of Romeo and Juliet basically says it out. Two houses, both alike in dignity. Basically, like, the fairies and their kind live in this area, humans and their kind live in this area. They don't really like each other. They've kind of stayed away, like, up until...
Yeah, they've basically stayed on their own parts, but then, you know...
Shit happens,
and as a little girl, Maleficent catches a young boy stealing from their, like...
The pool of
jewels. So she comes and she's like, come out, I know you're in there. And he's like...
With some of the best teleprompter reading I have ever seen in my life.
Right.
This girl, oh, sweetie, you're pretty. You're absolutely like a little bundle of joy. And you can't act for shit. Like,
no.
This girl was very like, oh, little boy, come out. We will not get you in trouble.
Right.
I am not scared. He is but a boy. Like... You condescending bitch.
Right. But so basically, the human boy and her meet, and I guess she feels as...
Say it. They fall in love.
They fall in love.
They do.
And Maleficent really falls in love with this boy. And this boy slowly grows up, and he says, one day I will live in that castle, and blah, blah, blah. He was just like a peddler's boy. And I guess he's like, he gets in favor of the king somehow, and not explained. And then eventually the king wants to infiltrate this area because it's made of magic and it's got like the gems and stuff like that.
Right.
So he wants the bounty from the land. And so Maleficent does what Maleficent does, and she protects her area, her beautiful kingdom, right? And the king doesn't like that very much, and he's dying on the throne, and he's like, he who kills Maleficent will get the throne. Well,
can we just state for the record, though, the very first battle that happened between Maleficent's Treant army and this was a shit stomp.
Oh my god!
Like this was a Brock Lesnar WWE fight. This was just a fucking a massacre.
It was a massacre.
Because Maleficent flaps her wings. This is when, by the way, she has basically turned into Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
She stopped. She grew out of being British.
Yeah.
By the way, because Angelina Jolie does not even attempt a British accent.
No.
But yeah, they have this fight between the armies, and if you thought the shit in Noah was brutal, these Treants do not give a fuck, and neither does Maleficent.
No.
She mows them down, and she pricks the king in the shoulder or something, and I don't know if it's just like she injected him with like fairy spunk or some shit, but like he's poisoned. Like he acts like he's poisoned. I didn't really get it, but he's dying. Basically.
Yeah, he was dying.
And he says to his Knights of the Round Bed Frame,
right?
Like, I will name whoever kills that wretched bitch will head my kingdom.
Yeah.
Will become my successor.
So of course, Greed, and so the one that she had fallen in love with goes back and poisons her.
Because he gets her drunk as shit.
Poisons her. He even shows the poison at the end. Like, puts her to sleep. Like, it was like a sleeping potion. And he goes to kill her. And he's got the dagger, and he can't do it. So he drops the dagger.
Oh, but you know what he can do? But then he's like,
wait a minute.
I can mortally wound her.
Right, I'm going to rip off her wings. So he rips off those beautiful, magnificent wings and takes them back to the king and says, I've killed her. So the king, being on his deathbed's like, fuck it. You could deal with her if she's not dead. And of course the idiot puts the wings in a case.
He doesn't just put the wings in a case. He puts it in a see-through glass case that he keeps in his rape dungeon or some shit. Like, that he can marvel at and, like, paw himself off one.
I guess.
Like, it's really creepy in the scene later on in the movie. But we're jumping
ahead.
Ship.
So now she has no wings. But she's extremely powerful.
Oh, yeah, no, she's clusterfuck powerful.
Yeah, so there's this crow, and at first the crow comes by. Like, how did it work again?
A hunter dropped a full-blown, like, bear trap net on this crow.
And they were kicking it.
And they were kicking it instead of, like, the crow flying through the little holes in the net.
No, it was big. It was a big crow.
It was a big net.
No, but it was like little holes you could see.
And so Maleficent, she casts a spell, and her transforming spells are basically into whatever.
Yeah.
So she just kind of looks at him and goes, into man, and turns the crow into a man.
Cute man, by the way.
She can do that. Oh, very.
And his name is Dieball. Sam Riley.
Sam Riley. Let me go ahead and see if we know him from anywhere.
Sam Riley is the very emo-looking dude. You're gonna have to exit out of that. And that. There you go.
Her computer's a sack of shit.
Yep.
Oh my god. Eat ass!
So he hasn't been in a lot.
No.
But he was very good in this one.
He was really good. Kind of good looking?
Kind of good looking. I think he's good looking in like an emo way.
Yeah, like if you like those emo guys.
Right. Or scene guys.
Emo.
I guess he was more emo. But
yeah. He kind of, in his profile picture for IMDb, he kind of looks like Peter Parker off of Spider-Man 3.
A little bit. But yeah, so he's the crow, and then
He's like, I will serve you. You saved my life. I will serve you.
Baby, come on.
She's sleeping, Grandpa.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
We'll come back. So what were you saying?
He swears undying allegiance to her.
Right. So he swears undying allegiance. Now she's got her pet crow. And of course she made her staff because she was wounded and stuff.
And
so she's got her typical staff that everybody sees Maleficent with.
And then and then the baby happens.
Yeah.
If you wanted to see a perfect live-action recreation of the Disney movie, there is only one scene you're gonna get out of this movie, which is the fucking coronation.
Oh my god. Okay, so I got chills.
Or not coronation. What am I thinking?
It's just the showing
The
of
christening,
the baby,
the
the christening. Okay, let me tell you, I got chills.
Oh, yeah.
Like such
Yeah.
chills. So you got the king and the queen at the top. The king is the one that she had fallen in love with. Blah 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 blah. Okay, what?
Your hand going all
Too
over
bad.
my face.
It's just like there. So they do the whole scene. They've got the 3 fairies, which, by the way, they don't call them by what they called them in the Disney movie, but that's okay.
No.
But it's still pretty cute. So you have the 3 fairies come up, the 2 fairies, which, by the way, the 3rd fairy never made her wish.
She didn't, actually. But you knew what her 3rd wish was.
Which was to find true love.
To find true love. The first fairy, by the way, which would be Fauna in the...
I guess it would be
Disney
Fauna, it'd
movie,
be the big girl.
is played by Dolores Umbridge from...
Which her name is
Imelda
Staunton.
But let's call her what she is. She's played by Umbridge from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah,
Order of the Phoenix.
yeah.
And she's the only one of the 3 fairies I don't fucking hate.
Yeah. So they make their wish. As the 3rd one's gonna make her wish, of course, Maleficent comes in, and in all her glory.
In all of her glory. Just the whole place goes dark. All of the fucking lights get blown out, and she just struts her shit down the center
And
walkway.
so beautiful. Just beautiful. She makes me sick.
And this condescending tone. And the laugh.
And the laugh. I don't even know if they recorded that laugh or if that was Angelina's laugh, because I could see that being Angelina's laugh.
I think that was just her laugh.
Oh, it's just incredible. I'm freaking out because I was getting goosebumps. That was that moment, that was the coolest moment in the cartoon, and it was just
it was that was by the way your introduction to Maleficent in the cartoon.
Yeah.
This you've been established to her. You've got to see her go oh, Maleficent's about to haul some ass. She's becoming the villain, and this is the solidification of that villain character, of her just walking in and going, not only am I gonna fuck you up, but I'm gonna make you suffer for it.
Right.
I think my favorite part is when she's like, I'm gonna curse your kid, and she does the curse, complete with green glow and the twisted dress.
Oh, I know.
It reminded me of the cartoon, except for one thing, which I had to smile at, which was he starts begging her.
Yeah.
And she goes, I like you begging. Do it again. And so the king, who at this point obviously is the guy who cut her wings off,
Yep.
grown up into a 4,000-year-old man, despite the fact that Angelina Jolie does not age.
Ever.
Though I'm going to chalk that up to fairy aging.
Really? Because I'm just going to chalk it up to Angelina. I'm sorry, but that woman has not aged.
I've played enough D&D to know that fairies age slower than...
they do. So
than
that's
humans.
fairy age.
But yeah, he grovels, and she goes, okay, the only way to break the curse is for a true love's kiss, and true love does not exist.
And then she makes it very clear that it can never be undone. Let's make that clear.
Yes,
it can never be undone
by any power.
By any power. It's eternal. That's exactly what she said. Eternal.
Yeah.
So we're saying that now because later on in this review you'll understand. Noma. So baby's been cursed.
Right.
Then there's a really cute scene of the baby in the crib, and the crow comes and looks in. So now obviously the crow went back to Maleficent to say this is where the baby is. Maleficent comes to the window.
Oh no, you're missing some stuff. You're missing the fairies. Well,
Oh, the
not,
fairies
sorry, not
fucking
the
up.
fairies. Not the fairies. The pixies.
Okay, them fucking up the baby.
Them fucking up. This needs to be mentioned for me because the fairies in the movie, like in the cartoon, were my favorite characters.
Yeah, and in this one, I could have done without them.
In this one of them was competent, and the other two were 6-year-olds.
And even that one wasn't competent because they didn't even know how to feed the baby.
They didn't know how to feed the baby. Like, they drop carrots into there, and they just go, well, we're done here. Walks inside.
Yeah, and then they're lying there sleeping at night with things in their ears, and it was the crow who brought the, and that's, I still say it was milk from the poppy.
Right.
Right? So, and it gives it to the baby, and the baby starts to drink it. So then...
Maleficent's standing by the window.
Yeah, let's get back to that one.
Yeah.
Because it was really cute. It was so cute, and it was so unexpected. Is she's standing there at the window, and she's like, well, you truly are beastly.
You're so ugly, I feel sorry for you, little
Right?
beastie.
And then they zoom to the baby, and thank God, I was so excited that it wasn't some fucking CG baby.
I was happy for that.
Oh my God, no CG Twilight baby. Okay. So this was an actual baby. And
Yeah.
I swear, I would almost swear that would have been Angelina's baby. But she doesn't have a baby.
But she's not
so-
African.
No, they actually have babies. They have twins.
I know,
Like,
I'm just-
listen, I'm a stalker. I know this.
I don't know if you noticed this though, but when she says that to the kid, and the kid just goes,
Yeah.
and then she goes,
Like,
And
and I mean scary. Like, this would make a normal baby cry.
and the girl goes.
Yeah.
It's the same scene. They played the same scene twice.
No, I'm gonna have to disagree, because if you look at the baby's face the first time, the baby had a calm looking face and then she smiled. The second time when she actually went, right, she actually looked like, and then she went, you know what I mean? She almost looked like, what the fuck are you doing?
I literally saw the same scene get played twice.
Did ya?
Yeah.
But anyway, so the baby just smiles at her.
Because of the
Right.
second wish. The second wish is that you will never be unhappy, which is bullshit.
Yeah, because she gets unhappy.
She has a fucking fit.
Yeah. But no, anyway, she just smiles at her, because I honestly believe, and this is something more true life than anything else, I believe a baby would know, like, in their hearts. You know? Like, I just think a baby knows.
I'd like to
But-
respectfully call bullshit, because even if a baby knows that you're good
Yeah,
on
you're
the
still
inside,
scary.
scary shit be scary out.
But no, this baby didn't budge a fucking eye. at
No,
her.
because this baby was not looking at Angelina Jolie in that shot.
Right.
Like, you know that. They were, like, dangling keys or something
Mhm.
in the shot. But,
Or she was having a really good gas, because the baby's laughing gas.
really
But
cute.
really cute baby. Oh my God, cute as a button. And just a cute scene altogether. And you saw the kindness. Now, I don't know how you do your reviews, but we can basically say Maleficent watches over Aurora.
Yeah.
Right from baby on. You can tell she has a heart for her.
Yeah, like, there's a couple time skips here and there where you see her almost fall off a cliff, and
Yeah,
she
well,
saves
she goes,
her.
oh, look at that little beastly. She's about to fall off a cliff. And I'm thinking, she's good. And even the crow, the crow is covering his eyes because he doesn't want to watch it. And as you hear the baby, not the baby, but the child scream. And then all of a sudden you look over and there's like tree branches coming up, like looking like hands, and like picking her up. And that's Maleficent.
Yeah.
And then of course the crow looks over at Maleficent and she's like, what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
She's
She just
fine.
kind of like lies back. And I'm like, right? Like, no.
Time skip to 16, because
Yeah.
it has to, because 16, she, on her 16th birthday, pricks her finger on the spinning wheel, everything is set up.
But before this, like even before this, she gets really close to Maleficent. Right? They actually meet.
Right, and she
Right.
brings her into, like, the land of the Feywild, or
in
whatever
the
fuck
Feywild
they
or
call
whatever.
it.
So she actually gets a heart for her. And she brings her back to her bed at one point. Now this is when she is 16. She brings her back to the bed. And this is where Previous catches up with her. She says, I revoke my spell. And she really tries. Like, you can
Let
see-
it be known.
Let it be known. I revoke my spell. And there's just fire and brim and green and of course
It doesn't work.
it doesn't work because
It's
she had
eternal.
made it's eternal. So
Shitty. And so when Aurora talks about, like, when I'm 16, I can, like, I'm going to live here. And she goes, you don't have to wait until you're 16. And she goes, okay, I'll tell my foster parent pixie people tomorrow, which is her 16th birthday. So she does have to wait.
yeah.
She's like, I'm going to be 16 soon. That's not soon. That's tomorrow.
Right. So she says, till tomorrow. So the girl heads back to go to her parents, and she's basically talking to herself.
And meets Sir not appearing in this movie.
Then she meets Prince Philip. And, you know, they look at each other. They, I guess,
I'm not even
love at first sight.
This is where we disagree, because this was stupid. I apologize. I don't apologize. This was stupid to me because they were going for a more mature movie, and this, I expected them to burst into song.
Yeah.
Like this was straight off of Enchanted. How dumb this was, and they just look at each other and they're like. Well, I best be going. And she's like, will I see you again? Nothing could stop me. And he rides off to the castle, and I went, you're not in this film.
Yeah, you're not in this film. So, he rides off, she goes back to her pixie parents, and when she comes in, she's like, I have something to tell you. It's gonna be my 16th birthday, and they're like, and they showed the crooked cake, which I was really happy.
I liked that.
I really caught that.
Showed the crooked cake.
They showed the crooked cake.
2 references actually to the cartoon that were made by the Pixies in this one. One was the crooked cake. 2 was when they first show up to the house, her going, okay, we need to not be pixies, no flying. And then they start arguing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I
get little references there and here and there, but so. She says, I'm going to be 16, and they're like, oh, look, we baked you a cake, and she's like, I'm leaving home. She drops the cake. And then she's like, I did not spend the last 16 years taking care of you. You will go home to your father. And she's like, father? What?
Yeah, because you see...
You kind of told me my father died?
Now, here's the thing. What?
Right. So...
No. This bears bringing up. What? They told her that her parents had died. But they were supposed to bring her back to the castle the day after her birthday. So what were they going to do? Be like, happy 16th birthday, you're a princess.
Right. But I don't think, again, I didn't like the fairies.
The fairies were fucking stupid.
They were stupid in this movie. But,
you're in this movie for Angelina Jolie and Elle Fanning.
Yeah. Basically. And
the crow.
And the crow. And the fairy things. But, and the pitch, anyway. So Aurora goes back to Maleficent, and she's like, when were you going to tell me I was cursed? And is it true? And Maleficent says yes. And she goes, it says it was a dark fairy.
And her name was Maleficent.
I can't remember her name. And she's like, and then Maleficent says her name was Maleficent. And then Aurora's like, that was you, wasn't it?
It can't be you. And then she, like, has a breakdown.
She basically has a breakdown.
So much for not being able to be happy.
Right.
Though, to be fair, the scene would be a lot less climactic if she was just like, you're the one who cursed me.
Right. So, she runs off, she gets on her horse.
And goes to the castle, not being stopped whatsoever by Maleficent, who currently has a heart for her and knows that all the spinning wheels are at the castle, or the Pixies, who are currently playing grab ass in a cabin in the woods.
Right. Now, Maleficent I can understand, because Maleficent would have just thought she was going back to the cabin, right? It should have been her fucking
Okay, but she has a crow. The crow who could clearly see her riding her fucking horse to the castle, show up, knock her the fuck out. When she wakes up, be like, look, we need to... Nobody explains shit.
No.
In this movie.
Not to Aurora, anyway.
Not to Aurora. If anybody just sat Aurora down, like if Maleficent, when she's like, I want to move in here. Look, I'm going to have to be honest with you, Chickie. I fucked up.
I fucked up some large.
I may have
cursed you. Yeah.
But
so
if
this
you
would
stay
be the,
here
yeah.
until like a day after your birthday, you're good.
Yeah.
I don't own a spinning wheel.
But she doesn't, so she rides off to the castle. As she's in the castle, it does, which I liked, it did the whole where she got lured.
Yes.
Right?
Beforehand, though, she gets to the castle, and they're like, they bring this girl up to, like, they bring Aurora up to the king, and they're like, we found this wench at the door who claimed to be the daughter. And I'm like, you took her straight to the king?
Right?
But, like, she runs up and she's like, Father, it's me, Aurora. And he goes, you're early. Lock her up.
Yeah.
Basically. Now let's work on killing Maleficent.
Basically.
He, at this point, has gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
He's been cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for a bit there. He was talking to himself while his wife was dying.
He was talking to the wings.
The wings, right.
And the guy, best henchman ever. Henchman walks in and he's like, the queen requests an audience with you. Can't you see I'm talking to someone?
Mm-hmm. Open the door to your...
and he's like, Sire, she's not going to make it through the night. I'm having a conversation.
Right.
Best henchman ever to take one look at the king talking to glass-plated wings and goes, I'm out. I don't even want to try.
I'm out. So.
Is my husband coming to me? Sweetie,
no.
You're better off.
Yeah. So she pricks her finger.
Yeah.
And at this point, Maleficent's trying to make it to the castle.
With the unconscious
Prince Philip, thinking that True Love's kiss can break the curse. And obviously she doesn't make it there in time.
Which leads to the worst stealth scene ever. Because they're trying to sneak in, but even Maleficent at one point realizes you can't sneak in with her looking the way she does and having an unconscious floating body of a prince. A well-known prince in the fucking community, by the way. So basically she just floats the guy in front of the guard, and the guard goes, huh? What is that? And then, like, Maleficent, like...
cold cocks him.
Judo cocks him with the fucking staff.
And then, of course, the fairies open up the door, and the prince is like, I have no idea why I'm here. This is where I'm supposed to be, but I have no idea why I'm here.
Why are you supposed to be here? I'm a prince.
Oh, shit.
Get the fuck in here! Get the fuck in here and kiss the unconscious girl! Sexual assault hasn't been invented yet!
And here's the funny thing. This is something he did not do in the cartoon. Is he goes to the bed, and he's like... The fairies are like, isn't she the most beautifulest thing? And he's like, she is the most beautifulest thing I've ever seen. Don't you want to kiss her? Right? And he's like, well, I really do. And then they zoom over to Maleficent, and you only hear it. Yeah, you only hear it in the background. He's like, but didn't we just meet? And I'm like, you're so aware. You know that you should not be kissing this unconscious person on the bed. But, of course, they're like, kiss her! So...
Which, by the way, they could have taken like 15 seconds to go... Because they explain that she's under a curse.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, under an enchantment.
Oh, sure, starting up again, Mama.
Under an enchantment. And all you would have to do is take 10 seconds, 15 max, to go, the only way that she can get out of the enchantment is by being kissed by her true love.
Done.
Go.
Right. But they don't. They're just like, kiss her, kiss her, kiss her. So he kisses her, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work because it's not True Love's kiss. It's just a guy she just met. So, of course, they like basically kick him out the door because it didn't work. They're like, we have to search all over the world for this guy that's going to magically love Aurora while she's sleeping. And when they leave, Maleficent goes over to the bed and she's like, you know, you took whatever was left of my good heart. And there's a beautiful speech. And then she leans over and kisses Aurora. And...
Frozen plot twist.
True love does not have to come from a man and a woman. It can come from the love of a parent. And because Maleficent basically...
She raised her.
She raised her.
Those fucking
That was
pixies
the
didn't do
true
shit.
love. That was the true love. So Aurora wakes up.
A little anticlimactic only because Frozen already did this angle. I would argue that Maleficent did it better.
I really think it was beautiful. I really think it was touching. I was crying.
Because just too many things were unexplained in Frozen for me to give one iota of a fuck.
But this one was so touching, so heartwarming, and true to my heart.
Yeah, you got to see the bond between those two.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it actually meant something.
Yeah, and she wakes up, and the only part I remember thinking in my head is, she smiles at Maleficent, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, nothing happened beforehand. She didn't try to curse you and kill you. Everything's good. She woke you up, so it's okay.
Right.
But...
By the way, we may have tried to have a man kiss you while you were asleep. The hell is he? Not in this film.
Not in the film.
Then they try to leave, and the king has had basically them working on iron.
Which they mention it in the beginning.
They mention it very early in the beginning. The boy, who eventually becomes the king, has an iron ring, and he whips it off so that they could hold hands, and it's beautiful if he didn't, become an asshole later on.
Because iron burns fairies.
Right.
It can kill the fairies. Well, it burns them.
It burns them.
Yeah, it burns them.
It's basically like a hot poker.
Yeah, like hot iron.
Although, to be fair, how long is she hanging on to the full force of a human on her leg with that iron chain wrapped around her? Like around her
Yeah, but
leg?
if you notice, every time she had it, she healed.
Right.
Right? So she's healing as she's going, and she's really pissed off. But
and so they fight, and they drop a iron net, like a chain net on her, which is weakening her, although she has magic enough for one final spell. Into dragon.
And oh my god, the dragon. Okay.
The crow becomes the dragon,
the
not
crow,
Maleficent.
Right, the crow becomes the dragon, which I kind of liked. But holy crap.
Holy crow.
Holy crap. This dragon was magnificent. It was just... Oh, it was beautiful. And he starts owning...
To use a pun there?
No, not really.
Because...
But he starts owning shit a little bit, and then they start grabbing him.
And chaining him.
And she's losing. And he... the dragon does take the chain off of her, but she's weak and she can't fly, as we know she has no wings. But Aurora is locked in the room, and she sees the glass
rape wings
with the wings. So she walks up and she rubs the glass, and the wings come to life. And of course, thank God, she's smart enough. She knocks over this case, and the wings start to fly up.
My question is, couldn't she just open the case?
She couldn't. She was trying to.
Oh, okay. I think she might have been doing that for a fraction of a second before they quick cut back to Maleficent. But she pushes over the case, the wings come out and fly to her, and her healing ability seals her wings through her dress.
No, it's always been out. If you noticed, even when she's being kicked around by the king, you can see the stubs out of her dress.
Okay, don't think you can.
No, you can. You can.
Whatever.
But yeah, she's got the two stubs on the back, and then all of a sudden, what I thought was he cut her, but you see the king come up and he's got his sword drawn, and then there's this white light.
Right, but I thought the same thing, that he stabbed her, because that's what the shot looked like.
But it wasn't. It was the
wings coming back, and yeah, basically, the tide of the battle turns slightly.
Oh my god, best scene ever is, he still she's flying around and owning the fuck out of everybody, and he takes the iron chain and he whips it at her, and it wraps around her leg, and she just starts flying around with him, and he's banging into everything, right? And then she starts flying towards the window.
And
right?
she barrel rolls
really
quickly, into a drill that pierces the heavens.
Yeah.
And then goes right through the window, bringing him with her onto one of the castle spires. and she
And then
drops
she starts,
him.
yeah, she drops him, and then she's like this, right?
She's got her in like a choke rest.
And she's killing him, and then you can see she doesn't want to kill him.
She's like,
So she
this
does
is
it.
over.
This is over. And she goes to turn around, and the fucking idiot goes after her again, and this time they tumble off.
He goes to push her and him off the spire. Now, this was a really good idea.
Till you
until
realize she can fly.
Can fly.
So then you see him fall. You see her come down.
Can I just mention, in armor or not, if you fell from that height, your body does not look like, oh no, I am dead, Shakespeare. Yeah. You are pasta.
Pasta.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that shit just does not happen. Aurora is not shocked by this at all.
Nope.
I would dare say, having an entire castle set on her, being locked in a room where disembodied wings came back to her fairy godmother as she killed her father, didn't affect her at all.
Not at all.
And so they go back to the great garden. Maleficent is no longer a bitch weasel, so everything looks pretty.
It even says, like, Maleficent brought back that, like, she took all the vines down, and then she brought back that land to when she was a child, and she was full of happiness.
She took off her hat and just had her wings and her flowing hair, and it looked awesome, and she's there with the crow guy is standing there, and then, oh god, who's that off in the distance? Is that Prince what's his face?
Prince Philip.
He's there, and they might go on a date or some shit. I don't know.
But it was really cute.
And then they fly off into the sun.
Yeah.
And
yeah, she flies up, like Maleficent. She flies up over the clouds, and there's just beautiful silhouette of her, and then it's the end of the movie. And I'm telling you, and I was just telling Kira, probably the best movie I've seen since me watching Narnia for the first time. Like the first Narnia.
You marked out hard for Narnia 1.
I really did. And I'll tell you something, to me this was better. I will watch this movie over and over.
I would back to back this and Narnia.
Oh yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah.
Like the first Narnia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Prince Caspian.
No.
Or no, sorry. Which one was it that I had a problem with? Prince Caspian was fine. Voyage of the Dawn Treader was the 7 Deadly Sins.
But we'll get back to that.
Right.
But yeah, no, best movie I've seen in a very, very long time. If not, like, the best movie I've seen. Angelina Jolie, kudos, man. Fucking kudos. She's not only beautiful, like, in every sense of the matter, but she is an amazing artist. Like, just hands down to you, lady. Like, cause, yeah, I can't even explain how much I admire her now more than I ever did before. Elle Fanning, beautiful actress. She was really sweet in it. She reminded me of what Aurora would have been. Other than that, nobody really stood out except the Crow.
The Crow guy was cool.
And the fucking Treant.
Yeah.
The Treant. I love that Treant.
Cool dude.
Yeah, he was so cute.
He was so Groot.
He was so Groot, you know? Because remember when she was like a little girl and the guy said, well, they're so ugly? And she's like, how dare you? And she looks over at the Treant and she says, you are ruggedly handsome. and then the thing expressionally went, aw. You know, like,
yeah, it's like,
why, thank you.
Oh, nice.
You know, so, and even at the end, he holds his arm out to her, right? Or branch out to her. Out to Aurora.
Yeah.
And Aurora puts her hand in there, and there's just this, like, really expression on the tree, you know? So I have to say the tree got me, you know? I fell in love with the tree. But yeah.
More than I gave a shit for Prince Philip.
Now, really quickly, the young Maleficent was done by Hannah New.
No. Young Maleficent was done by Isabel Malloy.
Yeah.
Go into her. I swear I've seen her somewhere.
So that was the young Maleficent. Not a big... She was born in 2000, so she's 14 years old.
Oh, fuck,
So just-
straight off.
No.
No, she's in EastEnders.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's a British actress in the TV show EastEnders.
Super cute.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap, super cute. But
Super adorable, almost fashioned out of fucking marble, but can't act to save her life.
no.
I've heard EastEnders isn't that good anyway.
But really cute. Really cute. And Prince Philip, by the way, the one that was barely in this movie, was Brenton Thwaites. Really cute looking.
Yeah.
Really good
He's
looking.
a good looking dude.
And he's in other stuff.
He's gonna be in The Giver. I want to see this movie.
Yeah, and he's gonna also be in Son of a Gun, Ride, and Gods of Egypt.
Ooh. That's 2016 though.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I want to see The Giver.
He was in Oculus. That was a good movie.
While you're looking up him, I'm gonna give my final thoughts. This is a movie you need to see. I loved this movie from a little bit after the beginning to end. Angelina Jolie is Maleficent.
Yeah,
I have not seen her capture a role so well since Lara Croft.
Right.
She's got the laugh down. She is the personification of that character. In look, in attitude, in voice, in everything. I swear to God, during the christening scene, I was listening to the fucking Disney Maleficent.
Mm-hmm.
Elle Fanning, great job. Honestly, I look forward to seeing Elle Fanning in movies now more than I do Dakota.
Yeah.
Because the last time I saw Dakota Fanning in a movie, it was Breaking Dawn Part 2. She was good in Push. I liked her in Push.
She was good in Push.
The Crow guy was good. Even the King, as psycho as he was a good actor.
He was a crazy king.
He was a crazy fuck. And it did a really good job of portraying who Maleficent was, but making her to be sympathetic. And we still liked Aurora.
Yeah.
Everybody else in this movie was worthless. Like, the Pixies were worthless. Prince Philip didn't matter. The King was smart, but he was psycho. Okay, they did his character pretty well. The graphics, as you mentioned before, on fucking parallel.
To me, level with,
It's Great and Powerful.
No, to me they were level with, the blue people.
Avatar?
Level with Avatar.
I would say they're better than Avatar.
I really loved
There was
the movie
one
Avatar.
effect I didn't like. The mini Pixies. Because they
were very
CG'd
CG
the
crap out
people,
of there. Yeah.
and when they were human, like, they weren't CG'd, and you could tell.
Yeah.
And these Pixies were annoying. Yeah, I think 2014, the summer of 2014, is shaping up to be really good for movies.
So
Though
far.
to be fair, I didn't go see the shitty ones. I've heard apparently 1,000 Ways to Die in the West is super bad.
Oh,
I
wouldn't even know.
But, I go to movies that I want to see. And it's when I want to see a movie and I'm excited for a movie and it's shit that I do these things, right? I was excited to see Frozen. Frozen was very meh. I was excited to see Noah. It was shit. I was excited for WrestleMania 30. It was a fucking catastrophe. And I was worried about this movie. Because, as I've said before with the Iron Man movies, because I don't... Be prepared to hate me. I don't like the Iron Man movies. But because I'm very much the kind of person that says a good actor doesn't save a badly written movie.
Right.
This was not a badly written movie.
No, it was really
Other
good.
than, they could have just explained to Aurora what was going on. But I don't think it would have... it just would have saved a lot of stupid shit from happening.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, really good movie. 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. My next one to be watching, just so everybody knows, really quickly, is tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Wednesday night, I'll be watching X-Men: Days of Future Past.
I should probably check that one out as well. I haven't seen it.
So we can have another family night because we're gonna be watching it. So
I don't know whether or not I would put this above Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy, I would put this maybe 0.5 above Guardians of the Galaxy. Only because with Guardians of the Galaxy, the villain really didn't come off as powerful until he got the sacred MacGuffin of world ending. You'll know what I mean.
I haven't seen it, so.
But no, I'm gonna tie those two movies. I loved the shit out of Guardians of the Galaxy. And, like, a lot of people are very torn on that movie. There's either people that fucking hate it, or there's people who absolutely love it. And I loved Guardians of the Galaxy. I loved Maleficent. Watch these two movies. Just do it. Just do it.
Right now.
What are you doing?
I don't know what they're doing.
Why are you on this video?
I don't know.
You're watching this video when you could be watching Maleficent.
I really am ashamed of everybody that's watching this video.
I'm ashamed of
They should be already there.
We should be watching Guardians of the Galaxy.
They should be stopping this right now and watching it.
Maybe we should stop the video.
I think we should.
So this is MITOSIS, and that's what we saw.
And talk to you later. Ciao.